It would appear my camera is frozen, which is very classic, I must say. Should be an easy fix. Do a little this, do a little that. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. It's, as I'm sure you know, Tek Tok Tuesday. We are here to talk about science, technology, and all things in between. I got a couple of fun little videos lined up for us, as well as some, pretty crazy and, heavy content, I think. To be honest with you, I don't know how much of it we're actually going to be able to watch on stream, depending on the nature of it. I'm going to preview, I think, a fair bit of it in another screen first. Make sure that it's something that doesn't violate the terms of service. And, yeah, I think we should be able to go from there. So anyway, very excited to get things kicked off. So I'm still messing with, a couple of settings here. As is tradition on the stream, I am not fully prepared. And I think that's how I roll. So appreciate you guys sticking with me through that. Anyway, we're going to start off with an interesting news story. And our boy Anton broke it down for us in a great way. He's got a little 10-minute video here that kind of explains the finding and some possible explanations behind it. But essentially, they found a bizarre radio signal. It's something that we haven't seen before coming from space, and we've seen a variety of different types of radio signals, and typically we can attribute them to different types of celestial events or different objects that might emit them. Things like quasars, which are quasi-stellar radio sources. Or I think pulsars as well. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know very much. But anyway, we'll let our boy Anton tell us about this exciting discovery, what it could possibly mean. And as I've said before, I love his content. He is sick. He is almost at 1 million subscribers. So I know the 1 or 2 people that actually come to my stream. It'll make a big dent in his path to 1 million. But if you guys could get in there and just give him a little sub, ring the little bell. That's we love to feed the algorithm here. So anyway, my boy Anton is going to take it away. Hopefully I don't blow your ears out. Here we go.
Today, another mystery. Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and today we're going to be discussing this relatively recent discovery of yet another unusual radio source coming from the center of our galaxy that once again does not have a very good explanation. A radio source that was recently described in a paper you can find in the description below, and that doesn't seem to fit the patterns we've observed from other radio sources from the usual culprits, such as for example various neutron stars, various white dwarfs,
I said
or
pulsars, not
potentially
neutrons.
black holes that can, in theory, produce various types of unusual radio signals.
Very cool.
And so in this video we're going to discuss what type of a signal this is, what sort of patterns it's exhibiting, and more importantly, what the scientists believe it might be after all. But I guess to start, let's find out how all of this was discovered, and more importantly, why in the last few years we had so many unusual radio signals discovered out of nowhere. You might already know the answer to this. It's basically because of the new development and a lot of different projects when it comes to radio astronomy.
Interesting.
This one right here is one of the projects in Australia. The project ran by the International Center for Radio Astronomy Research, with these projects essentially creating these mega telescope structures.
This looks
with
cool.
each
I've never
made out
seen
of
this
these
before.
small
This
radio
is sick.
antenna that can generally produce extremely accurate and very detailed images, allowing us to explore the universe in radio light. And because of this, in the last few
Wow,
years,
that's
the
tight.
scientists
That's
were
very
able
sick.
to create some really incredible radio maps of the night skies,
Oh my god.
allowing us to see things we've never been able to see before. With one of my most favorite maps being Glimoscope that you can find in the description below, that essentially allows you to look at the night skies, or in this case the Milky Way galaxy, in the
sick.
X-rays, in the gamma rays, in the infrared light, microwave light, but most importantly, in radio light, but with extreme accuracy and detail that's never been available before.
So if you hear him say radio light and that word confuses you, radio light, like radio waves are just part of the electromagnetic spectrum. They're similar to X-rays, and not everything on the spectrum necessarily. Well, sorry, the point is the light that they emit is not visible to human beings, and that's why we can't see radio waves, or why we don't ever see them bounce off anything. So there is light to radio waves. It's just they're outside of our human perception.
And naturally here, as you start exploring the night skies, you might discover some objects you might have not even known existed. If you've watched videos on this channel before, you might already know what this is, for example. This is the iconic Centaurus A galaxy that's not as easily visible in optical light, but becomes the brightest object in radio light. As a matter of fact, one of the recent videos talked about the size of this object. It's something like 19 to 20 times larger than the full moon in the night skies. But because of these new projects, we've also started discovering some unusual radio signals that nobody has ever seen before. Okay, obligatory side note, not alien technology radio signals. We're talking about natural radio signals from objects that could be just as mysterious, if not more mysterious, than the aliens themselves. Possibly representing some unusual physical phenomena that can help us understand the universe a little bit better. And not so long ago, we've already talked about one unusual radio signal detected from the center of the galaxy that is still just as mysterious and didn't really get a good explanation yet. You can find...
really quickly, one thing that I absolutely love about Anton too is that he uses a similar application that I have, which is a space engine to navigate through the universe. What's really cool about Space Engine is there's an element of it that is procedurally generated, but for the most part, everything that you interact with is based off of like real life scientific data. So if you want to find yourself, obviously, in like our local part of the universe. Oh, sorry. No. And come see Earth, chill on that, fly your way through our little solar system, leave the solar system if you want, go outside of the Milky Way, and then explore the other adjacent galaxies if you'd like, and all of the billions of planets there. I think like Andromeda is, if my memory serves me, it's not that these guys. Where is she? I have no idea. But anyway, if you go to like another galaxy like this again, there's just billions and billions of planets and star systems that are generated that you can land on, and you can go to these different far off worlds and check them out. And anyway, it's great visuals, and I love that Anton uses it 'cause it's a phenomenal teaching tool if you want to like go through space. Also, if you ever get like really high and just want to appreciate the scale of the universe, it's great for getting your mind blown.
Find out more about this in one of the previous videos, somewhere right there, or in the description. But now the scientists discovered something else just as interesting, if not more interesting. An unusual flash in radio signal that's approximately 4,000 light years away from us, that seems to flash for about 30 to 60 seconds, simulated in this video right here, and it seems to do so every 18.18 minutes. While also being one of the brightest objects in that particular radio frequency, yet displaying patterns that don't match any known astronomical objects, although still displaying some similarities to certain types of objects, such as for example some types of pulsars. This figure right here, for example, illustrates the comparison between these particular signals. In this case, this is the name of this unusual event, comparing it to certain types of pulsars, certain types of fast radio bursts, and a lot of other radio sources such as, for example, quasars, or even different types of supernova, with the overall power or luminosity of the object increasing the higher on the graph it is. In other words, fast radio bursts are still the winners when it comes to power and luminosity. Nevertheless, because of the actual display of frequencies and how they repeat, it's still a very strange object because nothing else known to scientists has ever displayed these particular patterns. While at the same time this object is technically in our neighborhood, it's only approximately 4,000 light years away from us. That's closer than a lot of nebula out there. And at the same time, this object to some extent does resemble what you would expect from a typical pulsar. It does pulsate and it does produce very bright radio signals. But the main difference between a pulsar and this object is that, well, a pulsar does so very quickly. Usually, a single pulsation here can be either in seconds or even milliseconds. So, in comparison, this unusual object seems to do so extremely slowly. A single pulsation takes approximately 18.18 minutes, and it also lasts for up to a minute. That's never been seen before. It's basically like having a pulsar that seems to be in slow motion, extreme slow motion.
Cool.
But the signals coming from this object also seem to be very highly polarized, which usually is caused by very powerful magnetic fields, like billions and trillions of times more powerful than the ones we have here in the solar system or on planet Earth. And so because of this, the scientists sort of think it's probably some sort of an unusual magnetar, not so much just a regular neutron star. Which I guess brings me to the first potential explanation the scientists offer in the paper. In theory, this object could be the first known ultra-long period pulsar or magnetar. In other words, it's a very highly magnetized neutron star that seems to produce a lot of energy but doesn't actually spin very fast. Naturally, a single rotation here for some reason takes 18.18 minutes. And in this case, releasing very unusual, very slow emissions, but still producing just as much power as a typical pulsar would. And the scientists have already discovered 71 of these pulses coming from this particular object. But they weren't permanent. As a matter of fact, for some reason, this object seems to have actually stopped emitting signals now. But since we still don't really understand magnetars very well, for example, we don't even know how exactly they form, how they evolve, or what happens to them at the end, currently a magnetar is probably one of the better explanations here. Possibly just some sort of evolved magnetar, or a magnetar that seems to be not as active as some of the other neutron stars. Although interestingly, magnetars seem to be also a potential answer to the fast radio bursts. So in other words, at least at the moment, magnetars might explain a lot of things in the universe, or maybe we're just using them as a kind of a makeshift excuse for a lot of things we don't understand in the universe. Either way though, it's just one of the potential propositions.
It's interesting because that does, there's a lot of scientists who talk about this. Who's like, sometimes we just group things, into one phenomenon because like, we don't really have any other framework to discern like different properties or like the gradient amongst what's producing radio signals or whatever you're looking at. So I'm curious to know, and I mean this guy's a huge James Webb fan, so we'll see if he puts the JWST plug in. But I'm curious if that's something that they can point it at and get some answers to.
The other proposition is also quite interesting and quite viable. This particular object could be an extreme case of a certain type of a white dwarf with extremely powerful magnetic fields, and generally because white dwarfs don't spin as fast as neutron stars, it would actually explain why we're detecting these particular signatures. So for example, for a typical neutron star...
It still blows my mind that we know like this much about so many different objects that are so goddamn far away from us, you know what I mean, that like don't even have any real like effect on our material lives, but we're able to chart them and measure them and essentially measure all of these properties down to like what their cores are made of, based off of our understanding of math and physics. It's pretty incredible. It's a pretty incredible thing.
For a magnetar, we do expect them to be a little bit more constant, producing a lot of emissions over a longer period of time. But for a white dwarf, especially if it has something in its orbit, some of these emissions could be somewhat temporary. For example, it can last for a few days, a few weeks, maybe a few months. And so in this particular case, apart from the magnetar, which is the first possibility, the second possibility is that it's maybe some sort of an unusual magnetized white dwarf that doesn't spin as fast but produces just as powerful emissions. And because the object was only active for approximately 2 months and hasn't really been active since, it's kind of difficult to really determine what exactly this is until we see it do something again. And so no matter what this object is and no matter what the scientists discover in the next few years, it's definitely a pretty exciting and a pretty unusual discovery. It's so far the only object doing this, but chances are, because of these new advanced telescopes, we might be discovering more unusual radio mysteries in the next few months as well. So make sure to subscribe because we're going to be coming back and talking about this in some of the future videos.
Yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe, okay? Like Anton said, by the way, sorry for the unfortunate pause on your eyeballs there, dude, but make sure you subscribe because it's important to subscribe.
Also, maybe share this video with someone who loves
Yeah, and share the video with someone, guys. Like, share the video while you're at it.
space and sciences,
Alien spacecraft.
support this channel.
I mean, I still, it would truly be great if like the first thing the James Webb like points itself at and looks, there's just like a little like baby Yoda-esque creature just like waving back. That would be pretty sick.
On Patreon by joining a channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description.
Wonderful
Once we find out what this is,
I love it.
I'm going to follow this up with another video. Stay wonderful. I'll see you tomorrow, and as always,
stay
bye-bye.
wonderful. I love this guy's vibe. He's the shit. Anyway, he does a lot of really cool science stuff, and like I said, I love how he uses Space Engine to kind of like animate his videos and add that extra like yeah, it's mucho bello. This got me kind of thinking about this really interesting phenomenon, and there's a 30-minute video on it and there's a 6-minute video, and I'm not going to subject you guys to the 30-minute video
then however,
but it's a pretty spooky concept. It's called the Great Attractor, and then I think once we finish this, we're going to pivot into the really meaty content. We're going to start looking through some of this like fun real life Mick and Morty imagine. We're going to start digging through some of the contents of this Patriot front data. I got to figure out a way to put up some kind of like a trigger warning or something on my stream, because I imagine some of the language and the content is going to be pretty just vile and shitty. I thought we'd start with watching or reading an article on the actual data, some of the things that it contains, some of the insights that some of the journalists got out of it, and then we can poke through and take a look together as a team and see what interesting similarities again we find between movements like this and the stuff that we're starting to see even in these like freedom convoys in Canada. But before we get into the heavy stuff, let's watch a terrifying video about the Great Attractor.
thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you've been following the Astrum Answers series recently, you'll notice that we've talked a lot about how the universe is structured. Filament structures of galaxies being pulled apart by the universe's expansion, with bubbles or voids forming in the gaps. Because of the universe's expansion, everything is moving away from everything. But of course, this isn't totally true in practice due to a mysterious force called gravity. Gravity is a pulling force, or technically, it is the curvature of space-time caused by uneven distribution of mass. On very small scales, gravity is hardly relevant at all. I don't feel any pull towards objects around me, only towards the Earth because it is so massive. Celestial objects close enough to the Sun are most influenced by its gravity, and all stars in the galaxy orbit around a supermassive black hole at the galaxy's core. But it doesn't stop there. You've probably heard that the Andromeda galaxy is hurtling towards us. How can that be when everything is moving apart? Gravity. Objects that are close enough together with a large enough mass are pulled towards each other by gravity faster than the universe can expand. This is why we have galaxy superclusters, and in fact we are part of one. Gravity is keeping these galaxy clusters bound together, meaning over extremely large timescales, collisions aren't totally unusual. In fact,
It's kind of
a
freaky.
new theory has recently been proposed that the Milky Way may have recently experienced a collision with a large Magellanic Cloud-sized diffuse galaxy called Antlia II. Scientists have discovered that the Milky Way has ripples consistent with it having had a collision in the past, but we couldn't pinpoint what it collided with until Gaia discovered the Antlia II galaxy hidden behind our galactic disk. This makes it very hard to spot, as although it is massive, it is very spread out due to the collision, and being behind our galactic disk makes it hard to see due to the stars and dust in the way. But that brings us on to the main topic of this episode, the Great Attractor. In an opposite vein from the Supervoids video, where there are regions of space where there is an almost total absence of mass for hundreds of millions of light years in any direction, the Great Attractor is the biggest concentration of mass for hundreds of millions of light years. It is so massive that even though our galaxy is between 150 to 250 million light years away, we and all galaxies around it are currently moving towards it. Estimates put its mass at roughly 1,000 trillion suns, which is enough for many thousands of galaxies. But what could possibly be there that is that?
So what's fucked up about the Great Attractor is that, can you imagine, is that it is on the other side of the Milky Way, like, disk. So it's literally in this, like, region of space that we can't see through. And so we know that there's some gigantic thing that is sucking up all the galaxies, or at least pulling them towards it, but we have no way of seeing it, at least in our probable lifetime and species lifetime. Anyway, guys, let's get to the meaty shit. You guys came here for the really exciting anti-fascist material. So let's start with the actual data itself. So I threw this here. This is the folder. It's about 400 and some odd gigs. It's big. It's a lot of stuff. I think there's an enormous amount of videos and photographs, lots of memes, lots of just horrific dog shit content. And I don't plan on keeping this up for very long, to be honest with you. I'd prefer to get rid of it sooner rather than later, but I thought it'd be interesting to go through and to get some insight into. Now, while we're looking at this, I've already taken a couple of precautions myself to make sure that, like, it's not loaded with anything malicious or anything weird. But out of an overabundance of caution, like, if you wanted to, I would suggest using Oracle, what's called VirtualBox. You can download it for free. You can, that's not on Origin. Get out of here, Origin. No one likes you. And then you can spin yourself up a virtual machine, which is essentially a computer inside your computer where you can access files and content without worrying about a virus infecting your PC. Hold on, guys. I gotta plug in. My camera's about to die here because I forgot to plug in the old battery guy. So you can use a virtual machine essentially to protect yourself from potential malicious payloads or, just stuff that you necessarily don't want to get on your computer. You can also use it to further obfuscate yourself through like a VPN or something if you really want to make it harder for people to track the activity you're doing. In the interest of this demonstration, I'll show you guys how easy it is to set up. You can just say, okay, I want to create we'll call this test VM. We're going to do a Windows 10. 64. Next. We can give it lots of RAM. Yeah, we'll create that now, but we can't. Well, probably 20 gigs. And we're going to do this on D:. Great. Cool. Now when I boot this up, I should be able to get this open. Come on, no? All right, I'll fuck around with this in a little bit later. But anyway, I should be able to select a startup disk and then load Windows XP on there. Once I've done that, then I would use that to open the files. It's actually fairly easy to set up. Again, if I was more prepared, I'd have a better demonstration for you guys. But anyway, I've already taken some precautions to make sure this stuff is safe. And so we are going to dive right in. So, it's always RFTM. Actually, before we do this, All right, so this torrent archive contains nearly 500 gigabytes of leaked records from Patriot Front, a US-based neo-Nazi organization with chapters around the country. This leak includes videos, photos, documents, and chat messages. The full report is here. Let's check that out. Unicorn Riot is releasing this information as part of our work covering the far-right, white supremacist, and neo-Nazi organizations. If you could find this resource useful, please consider making donations. For more information. Previously, Patriot Front Vanguard. So here's some more Discord leaks of previous stuff I guess they got their hands on. The files in this torrent archive are also available at here. Rocket Chat is an open source server software similar to Slack, a messaging platform with multiple channels. The data here includes chat rooms, direct messages, and file attachments. The Rocket Chat file attachments and screenshots are zipped. Machine-readable versions of the Patriot Front Rocket Chat messages are included as JSON files. That'll be interesting to read. JSON copies of previously Patriot Front Vanguard, blah, 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 can be found here. You can also view this Rocket Chat archive on Discord leaks here. Megaco, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's essentially we read the manual. Always read the manual. Here we go. Patriot Front fascistly exposes nationwide racist campaigns. How long is this? Not that long. Oh wow, these guys were the torch guys. Wow, this video, this trailer is like better than most Hollywood trailers I've seen. I gotta be honest with you. Okay, wow, love to see it. Love to see it. All right, guys. Hope everyone's following along nicely. Hope we're getting interested. We're salivating. We're getting excited about the content here. The detailed inner workings and operations of a neo-Nazi... Sorry, let me zoom this for you guys a little bit. Neo-Nazi organization Patriot Front have come to light after a massive leak from their chat servers. The exposed communications show coordination with their leader, Thomas Rousseau, to deface murals and monuments of monuments to Black lives across the United States, and and intimate struggles to boost their morale through group activities like hiking and camping. That's okay. This release includes more than 400 gigabytes of data published by Unicorn Riot, ostensibly private, unedited videos of direct messages reveal a campaign to organize acts of racial hatred while indoctrinating teenagers into National Socialism. The information stands as a chilling reminder that fascist organizing thrives. So I spent about 30 seconds going through these files, and the first thing that hit me was I'm like, this is more organized than I thought. And I mean, I obviously underestimate the capabilities of a lot of these groups because I'm not someone who works in law enforcement or security. I wouldn't say this is the type of content that I'm typically overviewing or intercepting. So I think we're all going to learn a lot together today. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, let's just dive into the content. Let's get straight to it because that's where the fun stuff is. So this seems to be broken up by year. If we go to the Discord, there's actually a really interesting log viewer here, which I think if we run this and I load a file, I should be able to load it from, where is it here? Here. Discord. This maybe? No. I did not like that. Um, oh, wow. Okay. Holy shit. So someone has built an application here to parse all of this to in a readable format, because some of this stuff, when it gets dumped, they dump it into what's called JSON, and let's look at JSON is a JavaScript oriented notation. So it's essentially just a way of writing information that is standardized, that many different systems can ingest, interpolate, and then like output in some kind of like readable format. So like these are examples of like JSON. We'll see more examples of it shortly. But anyway, it's nice to have tools like this that will parse that stuff and make it more readable and easier for people like us and maybe like journalists and other, security experts to comb through. So there seems to be a couple of different rooms or channels. We're going to go to updates. So let's take everyone. We decentralize the main service chat. This will house every VA member in South. This is for interstate cooperation to foster a more localized community that can be seen with more. Okay, interesting. So, everyone, if you're reading this, send your state commander a direct message with something you're planning to do in order to help the group this coming week or otherwise soon. The summer is starting and things are heating up. The momentum is here. The pressure's on. Let's make this happen. Also, if you don't, you can be expelled for inactivity. SCs need to update their rosters. 100% participation. So when you see stuff like this, you're going to be like, what the fuck are they talking about? The documents that we're going to look at is going to support exactly that. I don't know, guys, as someone who comes from the someone who's identifies as a Yudin, this shit scares the fucking piss out of me. This is so like just out in the open. But anyway, so we got Thomas Ryan. I think that was he's like one of the head guys. Thomas Ryan's a big deal, so you're gonna see his name fairly frequently. Going to Houston, there's Twitter messages they're linking to. 19 is confirmed going to Houston, blah, 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 blah. These are just obviously updates about stuff that's coming up, which is interesting. Uniforms and supplies. You may reduce your taxable income at the price of buying or cleaning uniform to... Oh, wow. Interesting. They're actually providing ways of you like making this stuff fucking tax deductible. Like that's a real white boy thing to do, eh, guys? Like super wow. Putting nation tag these boys fucking hand. Okay, so we're gonna be renting a 15-seat van to go to Charlottesville. This is the Unite the Right. This is where someone died. This is them preparing for this. Remember, this happened in 2017. Jesus Christ. New book reading. This is The Doctrine of Fascism. It's not too long and very informative. Good to know. You'll read this and participate in the group discussion Tuesday afternoon. It should be more than enough time to read it all. Wow. You will read this and participate in the group. So this is something that's like interesting, and I don't think maybe those of us who aren't steeped in this bullshit don't get a lot of exposure to, but the level of just like indoctrination and reinforcement, and like one thing these communities have that social media is also really awful and good at cultivating is engagement, right? It's not just about showing up to the meeting and like being like a face in the crowd, because they're suspicious of that, right? Like they want active participants. It's like if you're going to be involved in a criminal organization, like they expect to see you do crime. Oh god, I wish I had my
like I said, if you're hanging with criminals, you're gonna see crime.
That's all there is to it.
If I hang out with a plumber, I'm gonna see him do some plumbing.
Simple as that. Anyway, love that sample. So yeah, if you hang out with criminals, you're gonna see crime, you're gonna do crime, and you're gonna be expected to do crime. If you hang out with fascists, you're going to be expected to contribute either monetarily or substantively, or your time and effort, or like, going and like beating the shit out of people or defacing murals. So this is operations. Be prepared for hostilities and the heat. A pack is the best way to handle this. If you don't have a pack, please get one or message me. Heading to Costco's. Going to Costco's, guys. Oh, these fucking idiots. Wow. Wow. Okay. This is where... Oh wow, sorry. I didn't even realize there's pages. There's oh no, guys. This is going to get weird. I'm sorry. This is going to get pretty fucking this is where it gets bad. Okay. The lying press, the Jew. Okay, yeah, I mean, you know us Jews. You know how we roll, guys. Wow. So just like openly, like blatantly posting, oh shit, I lost the file. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. Dude, this is fucked. Like, this is actually a white country. Oh my god. Pins. Oh my god. This is horrific. This is actually horrific. Let's keep digging in, guys. Why not, right? Fuck. This is actually like crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, there might be some NSFW stuff. I'm going to be very careful about what I show on stream here. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll through it over here first and just preview it, making sure that, yeah, no, some of this is I straight up can't show you. This is fucked. This is actually like I'm seeing black men hanging in trees, like pictures from the, I don't know, like 1930s, 40s. Lots of awesome like Nazi memes, American flags with, I feel like again this I can show you guys. Like, I want this flag made. Need to give this chat a picture. Okay, that's weird. I don't understand. Really don't understand. Oh, I lost it again. Damn. Okay, so without, I mean, I think the chat logs are fairly. There's not a lot there in terms of content that I think is really worth diving into. Like, you guys can see it's fairly fucking abhorrent. Oh shit, I can do 1,000 messages per page. Okay, that makes it. Yeah, it's just like people doing like the Hitler salute and like stuff like this. Like, it's fucked, man. I'm almost speechless because there's just like what do you say in the face of such a an acute like inflammation, like an acute inflection point almost, if you will, where these people are just like constantly reinforcing this absolutely insane culture of white supremacy. Like, there's no other way to put it. So, okay, those are the chat logs. There's also some PDFs here. So I believe this is just more PDFs of, oh, this isn't even PDFs of chat logs. These are just files. So, like, for example, you know, it's almost like I go camping with friends. One of our friends is incredibly well organized. She's amazing. She'll put together, you know, Google documents with like, hey guys, here's where you need to be. Here's what you need to bring. Here's how much you need to pay to this person for this thing, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, this is like the dumb version of that. So arrive at venue, form up behind obelisk. Once ranks will be formed, 10 to 20 wide. Random individuals not to walk through the formation. Armed security will be then deployed. What to bring? White polo, khaki aprons, gloves optional. Boots and belt, helmet, shield, legal defensive weapons. VA hats and masks, flagpoles and flags. Okay. So that's oh, okay, this is the different stuff that you can buy for their stupid fucking little asshole club. This is crazy. Okay. Let's look at the 2021 stuff, because this is where things are going to get really interesting. There's the mega 3D printing. Other stencils. Oh, stop. Really? Hold on. Can I open this? Oh, fuck off. So they have 3D print stencils. They literally have these like 3D printing files that you can use to wow. Okay. I guess it's in a couple of pieces, that's why, and then you print it in separate pieces. Interesting. Okay, that's actually like kind of fascinating. I didn't realize that they were that organized. So yo, Milk Crate, what's up? Thanks for coming to hang out. Appreciate it. What's your TikTok? I don't have a TikTok. I only do Tek Talks, which is on Tuesdays. I am here on Tuesdays, and it's oh yeah, the tiki torch. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the tiki torch. So 3D printing. What else do we have here? Okay, so let me rip through some of these really quickly on the other screen. Sorry, guys. I also had like chat closed for a second. I gotta get better at that. Okay, this is just... Let's open one of these movies. What? Are you... Get the fuck out of here. Okay, hold on a second. Fuck this. I love how bad... where is it here? Let me try this instead. Okay, you know, I'll go through a different folder. Stencils, workout and drilling? Oh, no shit. This is going to be fucking hilarious, guys. Let's watch this.
Hey! Left, and halt.
Okay. We gotta watch some of this. This is gonna be fucking cringe. This is gonna be cringe.
Yeah, man. There we go. Now that we're up there. Yeah, it's a funny feeling, isn't it? Next, go.
There's just like families and shit hanging out, and these guys are sitting here like fucking a bunch of assholes doing.
Give it everything you got.
What the fuck is this shit? This is so this is cringe, right, guys? Like my cringe meter isn't broken right now. Like I'm getting accurate cringe levels. No. Exactly. This is 100% like that. Like it is. It's the. I love one of my favorite streamers is Hassan Piker, and you might have heard the vernacular y'all Qaeda. Like these guys are y'all Qaeda. Like straight up fucking like. Just now, I'm curious what the point of these videos. I guess it's just to show that like we're organized, we're getting together, we're having events, and this is something that I think is really important and is often acknowledged but maybe not talked about enough, is that like these guys are fucking pieces of shit, right? But you can tell that they're clearly to some degree like disenfranchised, you know what I mean, as individuals, and for whatever reason they find some solace in empowering each other through this like fucked up hateful rhetoric and getting together and doing like absolute like, you know, idiotic drills like this. It's quite amazing. So let's keep looking through more stuff because this fuck these guys. This is a good one. I think this might be a good one. Here, one sec. Yeah, let me bring this up. This is straight up like yeah, this is Al Qaeda. Oh, I think these are just pictures. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Honestly, like, they're fucking amateurs. Like, they're so bad at what they for this they wear masks. I know, right? Like, what a stunning indictment of such idiots. I think no, probably not. Absolutely under no circumstances. What blows my mind about this too is so I don't know if you guys have ever seen like a professional who's like absolutely in their prime. Like if you watch a racing car go into a pit stop and you see how quickly those people can drill and take a tire off and change it, or you see people who are like in the military, right? How quickly they can disassemble their weapon and reassemble it and clean it, or how quickly, you know, someone who's a climber can like rig up their harness or something. There's a proof that's in the pudding. When you practice really hard at something and you drill and you drill and you drill, like you exude it in the way that you perform things. And the vibe that I'm really getting from these guys is they're fucking amateurs. Like, look how disorganized they were in terms of like tying up that sign. Like if they thought they was like doing something illegal and they wanted to get in and out, like that was the most unimpressive like deployment of a piece of cloth that I've fucking ever seen. Anyway, I know I'm ranting at this point, but I feel like, guys, that there's going to be a lot of that. So we got, what's this? A mountain hike. Okay, I don't feel like any of this is going to be TOS, other than it being like a bunch of racist pieces of shit, so we'll just go through it. I love how they're all wearing their masks. They're young. That's the other thing. I don't know if that strikes you guys at all. Like they're like, some of them are babies. I mean, I'm getting older now, so I'm starting to realize I'm like, oh fuck, like I guess 20-year-olds are like fucking children to me, but these guys are babies. Like they're just fucking, they look like kids. You know? And hey man, like I was a fucking like angry your proof is in the pudding brand of fascism. Yeah. Sorry, sounds inspirational. Like, so another thing that I don't know, again, I'm ranting here, guys. I did zero prep work. I didn't even think about like how I was going to react to some of this material or what I was going to have to say about it. But what I think is like imagine you're out on a camping trip or on a hike like this. Like, these are beautiful vistas. Like, you're taking in like incredible views, and in those moments, like, I don't know about you, but when I'm camping and I'm out by a lake, and like I'm just surrounded by nature, I'm looking out over like these mountain ranges or something, there's a deep connection that one feels. There's almost like a like spiritual moments and evocative moments like that often come out of these beautiful landscapes that we see. And like, you can, it's just fucked up that like in this state of like awe and being exposed to beauty and wonder in the world, that's being simultaneously like tied to or latched onto something that is just so barbaric and so like antithetical to a world with like beauty and things to enjoy. So I always struggle following the logic chain to the end. But anyway, these guys are fucking morons. So let's keep digging through. So what else do we have here? Oh, drilling and sparring. Let's watch more cringe. What do we got here? Movies. Oh, this is gonna be good.
There you go. That was better. 1, 2. And there. Keeping it up. Keep it up.
He's wearing a Nirvana sweater. Like Nirvana would like kill like Kurt Cobain would like turn the shotgun and no, you're going. Like fuck that. Oh, I can't believe it. These guys are so tone deaf.
Good. 4, 3. Oh yeah, Walter. 1.
Look at this. Oh, what a... He fucked up his wrist with those punches? Like, okay, I mean... Yeah, guys, like, this is like fucking 4K footage, too. This is pretty good. Yo, guys, this is wild. So it's just like, again, it's super cringe because like part of me, oh my god, this guy's got pizza back. I think that's pizza. I think they're eating pizza. It's such a photo op, right? They're like, yo, let's go get like a video of us training out in the rain, like a couple of badasses. But like, if you are like if I am training, I'm not wearing coats like that. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna get fucking hot and sweaty and I'm gonna be out in the rain, like I'm gonna put on some like workout gear and I'm gonna fucking like work out and get sweaty and then go put my winter coat on when I need it. Not like stand out in the rain and get it soaked like a fucking idiot. Like these guys are such amateurs.
Try to get a kidney. But when you bomb in on something, let's say you throw right, I flip.
This is amazing. This is really, really amazing. Okay, let's oh, it's so cringe. Guys, it's so cringe. Okay. What else do we got? Let's so there's the mega files, and we can spend more time maybe later going, because there's like, guys, just to show you, like, this is so we have mega files A to M, right? We've got mega files N to Z. So they seem to be all obviously broken up by folder, by like some kind of topic. But we're going to go with the organizational documents. This one I think is going to be the most like telling and interesting out of the bunch. But there was something that caught my eye here. Drilling instructions. Let's look at this. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. The basics of marching. Here we go, guys.
So every command is on a 4 count, okay? So it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you start. You always start on the left foot. You start off mark, time, free march. And it's mark, time, mark, and forward, march, and mark, time, mark, column, halt.
Placing your left foot last as well.
Yeah. Again, it's gonna be a 4 count. Mark, time, mark, and then left foot, 1. All right. Mark, time, mark.
Oh my god.
Left, right, right, left, right, left.
Okay, sorry, but like this to me is as bad as like where is it? it's like almost as bad as this. Like, these guys are a million times fucking cooler, and I have a completely new respect for what they are doing as human beings in comparison to, like, these fucking assholes right here. Like, this is amazing. So we're gonna watch through this because again, this is an instructional video. So I want to. It's only 7 minutes long. I'm gonna try and pause. I'm gonna try and do less pausing here and talking. But I'm very curious to get like a feel for the entire training material.
And then it's gonna be a similar 4 count as up. Detail, hold. And then you end stop on the left foot. Detail, hold, and.
When you hear mark time, don't jump the gun and strike your left foot. You should be anticipating it. It's like mark time, and then march is the executing word.
But just always keep in mind that it's 4 count. So I'll clap, and that way we'll clap. That way you guys can kind of play in your head. So just one more time before
really
we start.
amped,
Mark time, mark. And so what we usually do is I usually like in my hand on the last count, which is silent. You do kind of like and or. So like in his head he says step.
Rhythm is everywhere.
Rhythm
is everywhere.
Step. All right, so let's try that.
Holy shit.
I'll show you one more time. This is what we're gonna do. Mark time, mark. Detail, hold. This is what it's gonna look like. Mark time, mark. And then the command, forward march. Again, it's a 4 count, and then you start off on the left foot. So, forward march, and.
We want to try and maintain the form of our group as much as we can. So, when we are actually moving, everyone is going to look out of their peripheral vision to their right. Everyone here on the right side of the formation are the people keeping the real spacing in between them and the column in front of them. So, how do we maintain that, right? All right, everybody on this side, except for you, you are in front. All right, put your right arm out like this. That is how far you should be from the column in front
With your
of you.
fist
So
closed, just for good measure.
We're gonna mark time, and then forward march, and then always start on your left foot. Mark time, mark. Left.
left, right, yo, left, yo.
By the way, I love how they like obfuscated their faces, but a bunch of them have like fucking tattoos like right on their arms that are easily identifiable. It's like, I guess you tried, right?
Yo, right,
Forward march.
left,
Gotcha.
left, 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 left.
Right turn.
Right, left, there we go. Left,
Forward march.
left, left,
Where are there? It's some campground, obviously.
left turn, there we go. Very nice.
Mark time, march. Forward march. Left face.
Yeah.
You know what is, and I mean, I'm going to make a gross overgeneralization here, but I feel like in this circumstance, it's fucking appropriate, okay? These are the same type of loser assholes who would beat up like drama kids or people in high school because they like dance, you know what I mean? Or they liked fucking High School Musical or some shit. They would like beat the piss out of them. But here they are like prancing around like a bunch of like Mary Sues. I don't know if that term is offensive. I apologize if it is. But they're dancing around like a bunch of, you know, idiots. And they don't see the irony in that of how just like ridiculous they look. Another quick thought that I have is just obviously, they're trying to come up with some kind of an image of like there's a lot of power. Like when you see people performing in incredible synchronicity, whether it's synchronized swimming or whether it's like I love how Eric Cartman was terrified of the Chinese at the Olympics, and just like the drum opening that they had, and the insane precision that they were able to keep in sync. That's impressive. Like that shows a level of dedication, of practice, of like, kind of goes back to what I was saying about proof in the pudding, right? Is when you execute something that looks really well practiced, it looks really good. Okay. And so obviously what these guys are trying to do, other than bring young men together, because I don't see a lot of women here so far, but about young white men together, and to not only just like give them a sense of meaning, but give them a weird activity to take pride in, right? Other than just their whiteness.
Lift, turn. There we go. Lift. So when it comes to doing a facing movement, these are turns executed while standing still. Make sense? In other words, it looks like this. For a left face, it's going to be here, here, right? You pivot on your left toe and on your right. Wait, no, your left heel and your right toe.
Idiot.
Yep. So for a left face, it's going to look like this. It's a 2-count movement. Here, here, right? For a right face, it's going to be right face, 1, 2, right? We want to say the whole command before it's executed so we know exactly what we're doing.
We had previously done it a different way, but we're
okay, so I get it. You guys are oh wait, hold on. They're holding. Sorry.
Before it's executed, so we know exactly what.
Is it just me, or did that escalate very quickly? That went from like, oh, we're just gonna talk about marching, to they were holding metal shields, right? Let's just.
We had previously done it a different way, but we're implementing a new memo.
It's a reform. Yeah. Left face. Get in there. We'll keep working on it. Left face. Left face.
We'll say step to advance.
So your left shoulder should be pinned on the shield right here. You see right here?
Step, recover. Step with the left, recover with the right. Step with the left. So lock, step, lock, step, 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 step. So we're going to begin marching, and then we're going to see some issues. And then you'll hear lock, step, lock. At which point you can stop, until you're told to step. You don't have to keep marching through that. Mark time, march!
Left.
Forward, march! Lock, step, lock! Step!
We will change!
Fucking losers, man.
There's just like a screaming lip card
terrible.
or something, and we might want to, or like an Antifa sitting. Let's say there's one Antifa, like you said, just sitting down right here. It's not going to be a brawl. So the front row will present their shields and be intimidating and all that. But do you need to be like really bracing the guy in front of you hard? No, because But if there's like a crowd gathering, make sure that your assailants, projectiles, like and you want to go whole hog like you are now.
Whole hog.
I don't like you!
What are you doing out there?
Where are you at? Where are you at? Hey, back up. Stop! Pull! Stop! Pull! I don't like you. You hurt my Stop! I will kill you! Stop!
Okay, these guys are idiots. Oh, they're just like putting up their little bitch posters everywhere here. This is fucking so stupid.
Right side up. Okay, yeah.
Make sure you put the right side up. Clearly it was a problem before. Okay. cool video, guys. Real cool video. Okay, we're gonna dig into the interesting stuff. So before we get into this, I don't know how much like personal information is in here, and I don't really know what the legalities are of looking through a dump like this. So I don't know. Do with that information what you will. I'm just gonna dive in because why the fuck not? So these are member. Okay, there's a lot. There's quite a few things to go through here. Let's look at the member guides to start. Oh, interesting. Okay. This looks cool. Let's go through this. General conduct. Must be understood that all activists have agreed to the following guides of conduct by their voluntary admittance to membership of the organization. Ignorance or lack of information is not an excuse for violating. Activists are representing the organization. An activist in good standing is allowed a single warning for a violation. Revocation of privileges is decided on each case-by-case basis. Suspension in case of an activity. Okay, so no vulgar communications or actions. This is an interesting one. So keep your conduct professional, avoid slurs and terms which have purely negative connotation as opposed to simple descriptive terms. This does not mean you can oppose the actions or thoughts of others, only that the method of statement is important. While the content of the statement can remain the same, expletives should be entirely absent from conversation. Find alternate ways to get your points across. Actions that violate the moral and upright convictions of the organization. So this is interesting. And like, I mean, there's a level of efficacy to that, right? To say like, oh, well, we're not going to use swear words. We're not going to use racial slurs. And it gives them almost like I mean, obviously there's no plausible deniability, but you know, it's like, I never said that. I never said that about these people or blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it gives these kind of like absolute sick fucks a little bit of breathing room. So, okay. So, any forms of physical contact, gestures, or vocalization that may be suggestive or otherwise morally degrading should be absent both online communications and in person. And violation was out of revocation of privileges. So there is a Discord dump, and we'll go through this, and we'll see what that looks like, and if that's something they actually adhere to. But I would say that's a fairly like substantive evolution from what you see in a lot of just like 4chan forums and just like the very easy, accessible, troves of racism that exist, right? So voluntary participation practices, groups, or establishments outside the organization would contain or uphold contradictory moral principles is prohibited. Violation result in revocation. Okay, so no conduct under the influence. Activists must always maintain a frame of mind conducive towards the organization's goals of professionalism and productive action. Any participation in or the use of organizational resources, platforms, or actions while under the influence of an intoxicating substance or otherwise mentally impairing circumstances is strictly prohibited. This is what I mean, I guess like credit where it's like this is well written. Like this is really, really well written. In terms of just like the language, it's someone who works in like a corporate office and has like written an HR policy fucking wrote this document. Okay, any use of substance such as alcohol, tobacco, or teas is disallowed in all during the immediate window of activism. Okay, so I guess what they're saying is they're just like, hey, we don't want to see you smoking, we want to have a really clean image. Any use of organizational communications, platform resources while under the influence. So you can't even like get high and jump on the chat, I guess. Instance of drunkenness or any such mental state, I can't even talk, judged to be as high, equivalent as high, blah, 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 strictly prohibited, violation will revocation. Okay. During the entirety of the time frame of the organizations, consumption of alcohol, tobacco is disallowed under all circumstances. So these guys aren't even fun, you know what I mean? Like you can't get together, like at least when my my sister, who is an old activist, she did a lot of anti-war activism of the Iraq war that happened after 9/11. And they had a glass of wine when they got together as a group and talked. Like, I don't think there was anything wrong with that. But anyway, Interesting. No coded communications or dishonest actions. Speak plainly and honestly. If what you are trying to say cannot be said in an honest and forthcoming way, do not say it. The need to speak on or matters which one cannot be honest should be entirely absent. Interesting. So any communications or action judged to be purposely masking one's violation or if any guide has been seen equivalent or done at the same Okay, any communication knowing intended to mislead, misinform, or otherwise lie to the memberships. You can't lie to anybody. And hiding or withholding information is prohibited as well. No abuse of communications platforms in violation of the productive atmosphere. Okay, that's kind of weird. The serve as a workspace should be treated as such. Be mindful. Blah 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 blah. No promotion or suggestion of violent or illegal actions. So they're trying to keep themselves at least like semi-legit. This is fucked. By the way, guys, is this interesting? Like, should I keep going here? Please, like, you just want a quick temperature check if this is like fucked. Like, if you're like, no, this is really boring, please move on to something else. Or if you're finding this as insightful as I am, because it's definitely giving me an interesting view into the organizational structure of their activism, and that they clearly have some like really yeah, they got some corporate brains in here, man. Like, I've seen this kind of shit in, just like I said, like corporate speak. Anyway, like, this is literally like it's bordering on the legalese that you would see in an employment letter between you and any employer these days. No purposeful and improper conflicts with organizational functions or strategy. So I guess you just can't get in the way of what they're trying to do. Encouraging or facilitating activists leaving the organization for any reasons deemed to be other than necessary is prohibited. Violation will result in suspension. Okay. No participation in parallel extra-organization activities. So I guess this locks them down to their particular group. So their singular focuses should be witnessed in every activist. So participation of redundant, negatively impactful, others, wasteful actions or other Okay, so activist extra-organizational groups deemed to be overly parallel in intent or result will be prohibited. Any actions member deemed to aiding forces or entities in conflict. So, like, if you, let's say, were like a BLM plant or an Antifa plant trying to get into their group, that would be a big no-no. Excuse me, I need all the water here. No confrontational or inflammatory conduct directed towards other members. So obviously keep it civil within the group. No discussion or reference to the use, ownership, or acquisition of firearms. This is I mean, it's smart, I guess, like as a tactic to distance yourself, especially if this is like doctrine and documentation that everyone's supposed to be following. So, okay, wow, that was actually fairly informative. Documenting activism. Oh my god, here. This is, guys. I hope you're finding this as meaty as I am right now. This is very, very fascinating shit. Photography. Documenting activism, necessary component of completing activism. If your work has not been documented, it is not complete. Photography is the easiest way to complete this documentation. So take your photos horizontally. So no vertical pics, no vertical video. Fuck that shit. The subject of your photo should be in focus in the foreground. Blah, 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 blah. This is basic photography stuff. We don't need to read through this. So videography. Documenting activism or similar actions with video is a good addition to your standard routine. You must always get some video of larger actions like banner placement, large format posters, and hikes or sparring. However, videos of... that's why they do the sparring shit and videotape it, because if they don't, they're not part of the group. Like, they need to obviously do some kind of activity in order to show that they are part of the Patriot Front and have access to the membership. Know your camera, avoid shaky angles, documentation. So post all activism photos in standard prompt as soon as you're done with the outing. Label each photo individually in the comment box that appears. Oh, I love that they did this. Thank you for that, by the way, guys. It made all of this so much easier to go through. So I'm truly grateful. Okay, sorry, just the volume here. Let's keep. I don't know, guys. Do we keep going? What's chat think? Chat seems to be into it. I think we're starting to pick up some steam here. I think we're getting into some interesting content. Let's keep ripping. We'll come back to this. This is fascinating. Placement of promotional materials. Oh, hold on. We got to look up InfoSec. This one is going to be super fascinating. So, sorry, I'm excited about this slide. This slide's my slide. As a member of the organization, preaching opposition to the powerful, it's vital to present any methods. Okay, so connection, name, appearance, location, connection. So nearly every position follows a similar structure. Okay, in order to complete a docs of your opposition, will need 3 primary items, the 4th secondary item, to fully compromise one's information. Without any singular piece of the whole, the collection of information is not complete. Your goal in defending against these tactics of intimidation is to prevent your opposition from getting any piece of the whole, and at every least connecting all 4. This is dangerous. Like, this to me is the most concerning thing that I've seen by far, is just the fact that they are actually, in theory, promoting and possibly following what we call OPSEC, or operational security. And if these guys got like good OPSEC, it's going to make it that much more difficult for people like law enforcement to track, as well as like, you know, counter activistic groups like Unicorn Hunt, the guys who actually you know, went out and got this data. Need to know your identity and activism. Do not use your real name. Do not tie your real identity to either the organization or other members' real identities. Do not use your phone number or texts. Your license plate. Understanding your license plate be linked to your name. Blah, 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 blah. Members in the states of California can register their personal vehicles with the Department of Motor Vehicles postcode address. To post office. Oh, wow. So you can do them to P.O. boxes instead of your address. So they're telling you how to point your license plate away from your identity, how to, again, obfuscate your identity as much as possible. So do not use same usernames. Like, this is one on day one when I used to train new employees and I'd give them their laptops and I'd walk them through the security thing. That's something that we would tell them is like, don't use the same username. Don't use the same profile or the same password. Like, separate this stuff. Do not tie your activist online presence to your real online presence. Little bits of information can add up to a very complete picture of you. Be wary of getting carried away in voice communications. Do not say anything that you would not release to the public if the worst were to happen. For example, this leak, which is interesting so far, right? Because like, we've watched a bunch of videos and we haven't heard anyone scream an N-word yet or anything particular abhorrent. So I'm sure we'll find something, but we'll get there. But your real online identity, your identity during actions, plan security precautions in mind, political events, scrubbing clues. Okay, so, fuck, I would love to show you guys. Can I do it? Damn, I actually think I got rid of it. Let me see if this works. Probably not. Nope. Fuck. There's a great tool called Sherlock. I've showed it on stream a couple of times. I mean, if you guys have the patience for it and you want to see it in action, it's absolutely sick. Let me delete this because that VM is dead. So we could do. Anyway, what's cool about Sherlock is it allows you to take your username and it searches through a whole bunch of websites and checks your username and sees if it can see like what other pages. So if you have someone's username from one website, you can search across a swath of others. It's really cool. Scrubbing clues. So Axiom My Life. All right. Further efforts. Use Tor or VPN. Turn off Bluetooth. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, to a certain extent, like if I was really worried about people finding out my identity, then like everything we would do would be on Tor, and we would use like Proton Mail or some other like anonymous email service. There's other. Anyway, lots of. I don't know why I'm giving these guys advice. Legal research and compliance. Stencil placement protection. Interesting. So what else do we have here? Wow. Race, mainstream media is lying. FBI statistics. There you go. This is the kind of, this is interesting. Oh my god, this is fucked. Look at this shit. It's just like a really phenomenal collection of misinformation. Oh, these are the, yeah, this stuff to me is like, oh, fuck. This is October, guys. Just for a little bit of context, like, this was not that long ago. So, leadership, Tyler CT, timeline, following activists met at the meetup point. They departed in one vehicle. They arrived at Banner Drop A. Depart to Banner Drop B. Blah, 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 blah. Here's the, I love this, temperature 50 degrees with a 10% chance of rain. Gear. They got all their different clothing, and I love it. Like, thanks, guys, for telling us what you were wearing that day in case we wanted to make sure that was you and we caught you on security camera. You know what I mean? It's good that you laid out everything that you happened to be wearing. Smart move, dumbass. Anyway. Okay, here we go. So here's the meetup points. So they actually are using just like simple Google Maps to say, okay, this is where we're meeting up in this parking lot. Here's where the banner drop is going to be. They even have fucking coordinates. These goddamn nerds, man. Jesus Christ, this is fucked. Okay. Okay. I mean, pretty straightforward, right? These all seem to be, they seem to have, what's interesting is they have a standard template. So Tyler CT seems to be active. Get out of here. So yeah, they seem to have like a template of just like, hey, we're going to do this. Here's our stuff. And they're logging it with the group to essentially show their activism, right? Additional roles, new scribe. Okay, so this just seems to be more documentation that outlines roles and responsibilities. Attendance tracker. This one's gonna, holy shit. The fuck? So it's interesting that they just have like first name and then the state that they're in. Oh my god, guys, this is decent. This is a decent Excel sheet. Like, I mean, it's kind of ugly, but other than that, okay. Wow. What a fascinating breakdown, eh? This is a lot. Attendance tracker. Okay, let's just do that in PDF. It's funny too though, for guys who are trying to be so organized, you think they'd have like a document template or something they'd pass around and like, man, look a little nicer. Oh god. Oh, this is literally just like Thanksgiving dinner. December attendance, so we have like drilling practices. Oh my god, this is so stupid. What else do we got here? Driver briefing. Okay, this just seems to be nerdy driver stuff that they've pulled out of some like anarchist cookbook wannabe channel or something. But cool. Okay. What else do we have here? Evaluation process and interview. Oh shit. Make sure it understands to execute their role in length of interview. Some reasons commit to reading. Being prepared for what? Content preparation process. Okay. After the interview, conductor, note taker, political drug abuse, past non-present marijuana, Christian Baptist, to build a personal future as an organizer. Oh my goodness. So these are actually like their interview formats. Okay. We're going to ask you a series of questions. There are no right or wrong answers to any of these questions, so as long as you're being honest. You're encouraged to speak freely on any topic for all the full length of the interview. Answer questions honestly, not in a way you think we would like to hear. Dishonesty during any part of this interview will result in the immediate termination of your membership request. Do you understand? Okay. Fascinating. Application information. What skills do you have to offer? Did you read the manifesto? What are your thoughts? Wow. It's crazy. This is like some fucking like activist 101 shit, but okay. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know about you guys, but I just get hit with like waves of like absolute fascination where it's like manic, like I'm excited, like, oh, what is this, and then I like realize like what I'm looking at, and like that it's like, oh, this is like a highly organized large group of people who, like, I mean, if they had the chance, they would have no problem like ending my life really quickly because of my heritage. Hiking Falls Trail, interesting. What else do we got here? Schedules. So yeah, there is a little bit of a, yeah, like I said, it seems very template, like, fill in the schedule. Oh, I love this. How to use their Chinese radios. These radios are sick, but Baofeng, like, they're absolutely dope, but like they're straight up like made in China radios that these guys are using to, like, you guys just can't buy American, eh? Just like the America First people have a real hard time not getting their shit from China, which I love for China, really do. Ice cream. That sounds like a project name. Interview script changes, lifestyle recovery meeting. Oh, I think this is going to be an interesting one here. So, okay. We have uniform material. Are you kidding? So I remember we used to get graded on uniforms and like things like Boy Scouts and Cubs and shit. I wonder if it's the same here. Like, you got to make sure you... So why activism guide? Read Ulysses Twitter. It's interesting how they don't use a lot of names, though. That is good OPSEC. They're just using like probably fake first names and no last names. A lot of weird fucking random ass text documents, though, too. Okay. What do we got in the Rocket Chat? Rocket Chat screenshots? Interesting. Oh, here we go.
You guys ready?
Yep.
Go.
Shit, this is ass.
Are they covering up a Star of David? Is that what they're doing? Okay.
Alright, that's enough.
Good, nice. Sweet. Sick.
Okay. Cool shit, dudes. So it's just, what is this? This is literally just them like going around and like
Go. That's a good placement.
Oh, you put the sticker there real good, Mr. Fascist. Really put the sticker there real good. Did a good job. No thanks there. Sorry. Okay. Okay, let's go through this from the... Okay, this just looks like them driving around. Ugh, it's terrible footage. You're going too fast, dude. Jesus Christ. Sorry, that was really bad. I guess they're doing like oh, this is gonna be kind of fucked up, guys.
Because they have work to do. When I hung it up like this, their cringe ideology is going straight into the ground.
Yeah, this one doubles as black and so, or actually kind of triples. Yeah.
Like, they're such nerds. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I've hung out with some fucking weirdos in my time. When you hear these guys talk, you can just tell they're such, like, they're fucking like, I don't know, they sound like such losers. And they're bound together by this like ridiculously tenuous ideology that is just really fucking hard to comprehend. And I'm sorry guys if I'm ranting again, but this is fucked. Like, incredibly interesting insight though into this group. So I hope everyone is like, I mean, enjoying might be the wrong word. Again, like, you know, I humbly submit to chat for our temperature check and see if this is content that you guys are finding informative or interesting, or if we are sort of teetering into the brink of objectionable and abhorrent. Would love to hear what you guys have to think as I put on more objectionable, abhorrent content.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
There we go. To those who destroy our nation, we will destroy your symbols and all that you worship. To think we will lay down and perish, you are gravely mistaken. Burn them.
This is fucked. They're also such pussies. Like, at the end of the day, like, look at this, like, oh, we're all in our little white mask burning some trans flags, like a bunch of fucking losers. Like, first of all, thanks for buying those. Like, good for you for putting money in the pocket of whoever makes those. And second, like, I don't know, you just seem like a bunch of dudes who all want to fuck each other, to be honest with you. So maybe you should just let it, you know, let it go, suck each other's dicks until you come. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm ranting here. One sec. I gotta
For ours is blood and soil. For ours is blood and soil, my sons. For ours is blood and soil. And our great race there be replaced. For ours is blood and soil. We bear the torch of Europe still, our hearts with duty loyal. No more the blood of brothers spilled, for ours is blood and soil.
Oh, blood and soil. Go fuck yourselves, dudes. Also, I like how this guy has his mask off like an idiot. Okay.
Alright, everybody like what
Blood and soil.
Because they have work to do. When I hung it up like this, their cringe ideology is going straight into the ground.
Yeah, this one doubles as black and so, or actually kind of triples. Yeah.
Glory, glory to Colombia. Glory, glory to Colombia. Glory, glory to Colombia. Our day is marching on.
to them huffing and puffing. They can't even walk up a fucking hill, these
Advantage when
kids.
it's really
Like,
thin is even if it's wet, it dries out real fast.
Right.
what? That's, I mean, yeah, kind of, but not in that weather, you
We
fucking
usually-
idiots.
We usually toss the candle in with like the fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's probably some that are
Oh,
some sense that are
watching
may very
these
well
guys
be
suck
bad,
at making
some that
fire is
are
my
on them.
favorite.
Yeah.
I say this as someone who is incredibly capable of making a fire fairly quickly. Watching these dorks not be able to do it is very satisfying.
But my point is like, is the world not so evil?
50%.
I feel like people with scented candles, their test levels are already lowered by 50.
Right, yeah. That's
The fucking matzo ball candle.
maybe one caused the other.
Here we go. Here we go. This is gonna do something for us.
Light it like that and stack them up.
Shit, I can probably stab him into here.
Depending on what they did, our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents
I got
were
a
working
fire
on
starter.
it. In some cases, enormously.
So again,
estrogenic.
for those of you who are just joining us or tuning in, we are going through the leak of Patriot Front data. There's a lot of interesting videos here. Hope you guys are finding this informative. Again, chat's pretty quiet. Hopefully you guys aren't just all reeling and thinking this is the worst thing you've ever seen. I'm sure there's much worse stuff, but the thing that I'm finding particularly interesting about this is just the level of like organization that they seem to have, at the same time also being like abject amateurs at whatever it is. Like these guys can't even light a fire in the woods. Like, you're fucked. You're so fucked.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Keep this upright.
The candle thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, chat. What else are we gonna watch here? Hold on. Just to be clear, they're covering a carving over with paint. Okay. I mean, it's a move, I suppose. Ha 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 ha, it didn't work at all. Didn't work at all, nerd. Could totally still see the sickle. So, I think a lot of this is pretty safe to look at because, like, these guys are, like, it's literally written in the terms of service, sort of being a member of this group, is that you gotta be cordial and not do anything particularly offensive. Like, they're just putting.
See that fence?
So yeah, just more of them like scoping out, I guess, potential places to. Oh, they're doing a banner drop. Okay. Makes sense. Wow, this is fucked.
Next time, yeah, somebody be on the ground and get the shot.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do, especially if you're doing propaganda. Like you wanna capture like the you wanna capture the event, you know, like ugh. There you go. Can't even see it. Haha. No, you can't.
Oh yeah, stretched out. Oh yeah, okay. That's a good shot at. Yeah.
Wow. Fucking nerd alert. And not the good kind of nerds. Like, these are the worst fucking kind of nerds. Okay. Let's keep going.
Oh, I can't. You need the glasses too, alright? So you good? Alright. Let's walk it over, boys. Oh, yeah. Get the action shot, man.
They're kids. They're fucking like, is it just me? Like, or these are children, right? Like, these are like, I mean, I know they're not children, but they're very young men. They're very young. Not that that's an excuse. I'm not by any means giving these guys a pass. Don't think that.
God bless.
Okay. Wait, did they put on upside down? Please tell me they put on the wrong way.
Alright. Paint facing the road. You guys got it on good? You sure you stretch it out?
So we need to swap, don't we?
No, that's good, right? Paint facing the road.
No, we're good. Yeah, let's. We're good. Yep, good. Middle one first. Middle one first.
It doesn't matter which. Just pull it as far as you can, dude. All right.
It looks like they're learning. You fucking pussies. Absolute pussies. Jesus. What do we got here? Okay, they're in a park. They're scoping the park. This is terrible. It's some of the worst like, I've taken a lot of awful footage in my time, and I've had to watch that footage. And so, as someone who's put himself through an enormous amount of pain through shaky camera work, have an eye for that self-fuckery. And so, fuck that guy, whoever took that shot, and also for being a Nazi, first and foremost. Okay, here let's look at more. Again, I hope everyone's finding this at least interesting, informative to a certain extent. Like, I'm personally finding it both horrifying, at the same time very interesting, just to see the level of how many of these guys they are spread out apparently across the United States. Like, that to me is the most scary part of all of this. It's just like the sheer numbers of folks that are what are they trying to do? Like, hold on. Are they gonna go into some random ass tunnel and like put up a bunch of garbage? Oh, please tell me. Please tell. I love it because then they're secluded. Like, they don't have to worry about anyone seeing them do this because no one comes down here, and anyone who did is like, oh, look at these fucking like losers putting up this stupid propaganda. Oops. They're so bad. Like, what are they trying to do? I don't understand. They're just covering up graffiti.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so that's what they're doing. They're not even putting up posters or anything. They're just putting white paint on...
You don't lay on too much because it'll drip like that. Yeah. So actually, a little further out, yeah. Yeah, Patriot front up top. Sorry, no, that's okay.
Okay.
A little further out, it is dripping a lot.
Guys, just like, look at the...
Just do the sweep around with the letters.
There's a lot of content. Like, this is so much shit to go through.
Yeah, it's always sideways.
Okay. Some more of these nerds looking nerdy. Posters. Westboro.
Good. Beautiful.
So this is Boston now. Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts. Need water. Wow, this is fucked. I know I keep saying that, but it is truly just like some of the content is obviously like just a bunch of idiots with their smartphones taking terribly shot video at night with bad shaky cameras.
Make sure. Go.
Couldn't have taken it that audio from me, guys. These guys are such losers. What do we got here? This is New Hampshire. Oh, we already saw these absolute fucking morons. Again, just to go through like the folder structure is crazy. Like, there's tons of folders. This is N to Z. Thanksgiving activism, video. So what I'm finding interesting about this is that they're obviously giving these young men these activities to complete, and they're enjoying having some sense of, like, taking obviously some sense of pride in hanging these banners, doing these operations, documenting it, following operational security, and in some way contributing to whatever their insane ideological, bullshit is. I don't know. I'm amazed. I'm perplexed. I like these are again, back to, like, I know I keep saying this, these are children that I'm watching right now. These seem to be like very, very young. Like, those were almost teenagers. So this is Franklin, Massachusetts. Just doing more. Okay, cool. They're literally in like a fucking tunnel that no one's ever gonna see. Good for you guys. Like, super impressive work there. Love what you did with the place. This is more Massachusetts stuff. These are, I think, the same kids. They're almost like they're wearing the same fucking hoodies and stuff, which makes sense. Like, I would, if I was to do some kind of an operation where I anticipated that I might get caught on camera or something like that, I would typically wear clothing that you had never seen on my body before. You would not see me in an elevator in it. I would make a very serious point of making sure that I was not captured wearing that particular outfit, especially going in and out of my place. I would change somewhere out in the world, somewhere innocuous, and then go do my op. And then if I was caught, then, you know, I've got my costume that I always record, my red hoodie that I'm always in, but I never actually wear. It's not me, guys. That's what I'm saying. It's just, I'm saying that's operational security. Sorry, but just want to be very clear for anyone new coming into chat, being like, what? What is this guy talking about? Sticker cover-ups. Okay, like, that's what I mean. Some of this stuff is so innocuous and stupid, but like the fact this is Philadelphia, it looks like. Dude, not even your Zoom can pick this up. Like, get out of here. More Philadelphia. Oh, more sparring coming up, guys. The sparring, I think the sparring is some of my best stuff. One sec here.
I need more light. I need more light. More light, please.
Where, like, okay, it's good enough, he says. All right, more sparring, guys. This is the real bro shit. We're getting in on here. Let's check it out. These absolute assholes. You lost your mask, kid.
Come on, Chris, quick. There you go, Jackson. I like the aggressiveness. Nice.
I like the aggressiveness. Hi again. Once again, calling out to chat, just keep me honest here. If you guys are finding this as interesting and as fascinating as I am, or if you want me to move on to more cringe content here. They're not even good at sparring. Like, one of the things that I find is the like, that's another thing, is like, people who are serious about fighting, like, you don't really, you don't wear a hat when you're sparring. Like, that's the first thing that's gonna get knocked off your body. So I just have a really hard time understanding, like, anyway. Yo, Buff Overflow, respect, Buffer Overflow, love your username, and mad respect for the follow, by the way. Really, really appreciate that. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I don't know why that just showed up on my stream now, by the way. I'm getting some some latency. Anyway. Okay.
Jason, count it down. From what? 5-second countdown.
Okay. You're just... This moment here might literally be the best thing I've seen all night. Like, just in terms of, like, the epic comedy of...
Jason, count it down. From what? 5-second countdown. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Look at the dorks holding the fucking flag in the background, too. This is so... Oh, it's insane.
Are you good? I'm good. 5 seconds. Stop. Go, Alan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. There we go.
Dude, this guy actually moves like a fighter. Like... Oh! Good... This is so stupid. But at least, like, I could see how dude, like, how, oh, look at these guys, like, they're really practicing. They're really getting their practice going. It's so stupid. Oh. Oh, guys, this is juice. This is, like, chat. Just a check-in, guys. I'd like to know if you guys are ready for juicy content, because I do believe we are about to have some very, very juicy content. Here we go. Boom, let's do it.
Adam Harris, Chelsea Williams, we're the FBI. Asking a couple questions because you posted some stuff about Patriot Front.
The FBI has placed ads at gas stations, on billboards, and on the radio.
I can't even see. This footage is terrible, guys. Like, what am I seeing? Again, this is some Al-Qaeda shit. Like, they've really got, like, this is one of the things that we saw that ISIS did a really great job of, is creating, like, incredibly powerful propaganda videos that were very, like, striking and had, like, a level of production value. And though I'm not going to say these guys get, like, quite that level, it's, there is definitely some symmetry to be found between the two. Oh, wow. There you go.
these yellow letters spell out Black Lives Matter. It's hard to read now. As you can see, it's covered in white paint after vandals showed up in the middle of the night.
This is fucked, man. And again, if they perform like a modicum of, you know, operational security, it's really hard to tie back. I mean, it's not that difficult. Like, real law enforcement resources have, law enforcement has real resources. They can point at stuff like this and get to the bottom of things very quickly. All these guys carry cell phones. They're idiots. And not only that, but like, they're probably wearing clothing that they can be easily identified by like a relative or a loved one. So. It's really like, it's weird, like John Carpenter music. So it's just them posting a lot of stuff and like practicing. Okay. What's interesting though is there's no, oh wait, no, this is where they actually, I do believe they cover up a mural. Okay, I. Okay, these guys are dorks, and they have a little bit of production value, which is also terrifying. October activism. Not stolen, conquered. Fuck these guys, man, in every way, shape, or form. It's just more stenciling, walking around in white masks, like little dorks, can't show their faces. Pretty classic stuff. Nothing substantive there. What else do we got? Let's take a look. October activism. Does any of this look interesting? Like, or is it just more like them spraying shit? Let's take a look. Yeah, no, this is all very low quality content. Potterville, Lansing. That's the other thing too, is like,
All right, go.
So, I guess to a certain extent, I was expecting the information contained within this to be like significantly harder to show on stream. That there's going to be like a lot more like, I mean, again, like all of this is incredibly objectionable, but like it's definitely not the most objectionable stuff I've ever seen in terms of white supremacy and whatnot. I think that's kind of the point, is like they're trying to produce material, at least the impression that I'm getting, and this is just my like initial analysis while I'm like being exposed to this stuff for the first time, but the initial impression that I'm getting from this is that it's meant to really establish a strong veil between the movement and like the particularly radical, heinous, hateful shit. It's trying to put lipstick on a pig, if you will. Okay, this is so lame. Like, I guess again, like they have to submit this stuff, right, to their chapter in order to be like, see, I do activism. I put up stickers. I put up stencils. Like, I'm a part of the crew. Like, let me come to the meetings and be a part of the group. This is, I guess, this is the price of membership, right? Also, can I just say, like, masks don't do you much of a good in like an obfuscating your identity when you have incredibly obvious and like distinctive freckles on your shoulders. Like, these guys are, I mean, again, I can't, why am I surprised that these guys are fucking idiots and absolute like shitheads? But at the same time, it's just just wow. There's just a lot of wow. Yo, ADC, word, what's up, man? Sorry, I was not looking at chat for a second. They're classic. These kids in their spray paint. Yeah, dude, that's all this has been though. It's just them and like a lot of fucking like spray painting, right?
Actually, yeah, I don't really.
Like, what kind of like? I mean, all they're really doing is putting shitty stencils up inside of abandoned warehouses that no one's gonna ever see, other than the people who get these videos. So.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it's all just the same like lame ass shit. Okay, so this is Michigan. Let's take a look at Ohio. Let's see what Ohio has to offer us. Yo, what's...
Right.
Oh, this guy's, like, full face alert. What's up, dude?
I've been a member of Patriot Front for a little over a year now. Since joining, I have come to realize that it was one of the best decisions I have made in my entire life.
Let's see about that. Well, it's like, that's still to be
Despite
determined.
not even knowing their real names, I consider many in my network my closest friends. Our shared experiences have made them closer than family. The brotherhood I have found in PF is very much what I'd hoped for in the military. There's nothing else to be found that is like it.
I see what I mean? They're trying to emulate militaristic levels of organization, militaristic rituals like marching, weapons training, propaganda, all that fun stuff.
And it is this brotherhood that has solved a problem I did not even realize I had. Prior to joining PF, like many, I was a nationalist without a nation. I spent a great amount of time only admiring figures and movements from overseas.
This is bullshit.
I found my feeling of identity in cultures from societies that are now history. While these things do have merit and honor, they should
also, sorry, for those of you guys just joining us, we are going through the Patriot Front archive of files. We're watching a lot of the video content, going through some pictures, talking about it. Just a heads up in terms of some context for those of you who are just joining us.
Only exists as guidance, not what you dedicate all your pride to, as they are long gone.
Should I? Oh, hold on. Can I do something here? Can I put on? I'm sorry, guys. I got a meme. I apologize, but the
It is especially easy to do this when we are told that the identity we are born to is defined by everything except us. We are told American means a great progressive experiment of multiracialism. They used to tell us that anyone can be American so long as they believe in the Constitution. But now that part is dropped as well.
I hope the irony of me playing the Soviet national anthem is not lost on you guys.
Music for media must be about discussing sexual acts, flexing of wealth, or celebration of crime. Then we see that America means exporting these values to the rest of the world.
Okay, sorry, just a quick
Forcibly occupying those who do not comply.
Other than memeing, like, it's incredible that someone is producing like what is supposed to be like a well-produced propaganda video, and right, like at least I spruced it up a little bit with some like, you know, classic memeage, but like, did this guy like read the speech? Like, okay, I'll give you just a quick sidebar. I had to sit in front of this camera the other day and film like 30 seconds of me talking about this upcoming show, and it took me like 30 takes of like to do 40 seconds because again, I'm a psycho and I hate everything that I do, but also because, you know, I didn't nail it. Like I'm like, no, I don't have the timing right. I got to move this word. Like I wanted it to be presentable and again, look polished. It still came out looking like dog shit in my opinion, but at least I practiced a few times, unlike this fucking asshole. So sorry. End rant. This guy sucks in every way. He's unprepared. The content of his stuff is he's trash. Trashy alert.
We are told to ditch our national identity in favor of whatever product is in season. We are told that this is what America has always been, but also to hate what America used to be. The truth is that these ideals
and a
have never been
country.
the historical or even current authentic image of America. The identity of our nation is not tied to our current or even historical state leaders. It is defined.
Oh, it's
by the
brutal. We're not even gonna watch the whole thing.
character
It's a stupid speech. Like he doesn't even
with
deserve. Like
great
he's does.
potential.
Just to be clear, this guy does not deserve our attention in any way, shape, or form.
Your duty to free them.
But it's cute. So let's go look at more. Okay, so there's the Ohio meetup. You know, these guys don't have mind having their faces out there. Just a bunch of fucking freaks, man. These guys are such freaks. I'm sorry. Philadelphia. Pat down. What's pat down? Let's take a look at this. Oh, they're practicing pat downs. This is fucking hilarious. This is cringe. This is like some shit that like we would do as like teenagers playing airsoft out in the woods. We're like, oh, we're gonna practice our tactical maneuvers. Oh, this is great. This is great. Oh yeah, touch his butt, dude. Touch his butt. Oh, he's loving it. Look at him. Look at him. He's. It's such a great outlet for them to get their repressed homosexuality out. I adore it. I adore everything that's happening right now. This is great. Good job, boys. Good job.
All right, you my interviewee? All right, do you have a phone on you? I do. All right, can you pass it to me, please? All right, can you cross your arms across your chest? All right, this is my partner, Victor. He's going to conduct a quick pat down from our safety. Okay. All right?
This is exactly, dude, right? Like some people get off on what we just saw.
He's going to do a quick pat down real quick.
See, what kind of interesting about that is like if it's to try to be like a teaching exercise too, like you think that you know kind of walk through like what you're trying to do. What is this, California? Looks like this is just like this is gonna be more like shitty garbage postering, I think. Yep. A lot of this is happening in Michigan, eh? There's a lot of, again, like, what are you guys in? Are you in a sewer? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Where are these guys? Also, put your mask, like, the vapors. Like, we need a better mask than what you guys are wearing. This is so, it's enraging on so many levels. It's wild. Okay. Quincy, Massachusetts. Reject poison as a stencil. More banner postings. Philadelphia. So these guys are doing great. They seem to be busy in Philadelphia. SC, I assume, is South Carolina. Oh no, Columbia?
Yeah, so you think you can fit one around here? That looks pretty small.
It's more banner throws, like nothing, again, like nothing particularly like objections. Oh yeah, dude, that's a really good point. Thank you for reminding me of that. There is definitely a Patriot front glows in the dark, right? Yeah. Jeez. Yo, what's up, Death Priest? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate coming to hang. Yeah, there is quite the tradition of like militiamen in Michigan, isn't there? And so yeah, it doesn't it tracks, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Seattle. This is just like pictures of banners that they're posting, and again, like a lot of this material appears to be collected with the specific interest of like upkeeping membership dues, right? Is like we are a chapter that has started activism in this particular, part of the country, and here is proof that we're hanging banners and spreading the propaganda and having meetings and sparring. Now, I don't think that like any of this gets you access to anything particularly interesting other than literally just like the shithole that is this group of people. But we're going to keep going through files because I'm finding this like...
Cancel the banner drop.
Oh fuck, there's a great video. I gotta go back and find it because it's one of the greatest moments, and I don't know if everyone's actually around for this, but there's just some...
The side ones are more important anyway. Oh.
Yeah, alright, do it.
Oh, drilling. This might be cool. Hold on.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah, these guys are fucking lame ass guys. Like,
Too much?
They flatline. Just like, well, we negative, they flatline. I remember my dog was going through a surgery. We had to go up there and land and hold her on the peeling line. The house fucking black on AR.
Jungle scent.
Well, the highest is at Walmart. It's all crap.
Oh, I won't go to Walmart. Please don't go to Walmart.
what is the purpose of these shots? Like, they're just capturing the... Where are they? Like, they're setting up tents in someone's lawn? Like, this isn't even like a campsite. Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't see earlier, some of the drilling in this is so bad that it's oh, you guys are in for a fucking treat. For those of you who are just joining, it's gonna get super cringe. So if you haven't engaged your anti-cringe devices, taken your anti-cringe medication, if you are particularly susceptible to heart-related cringe conditions, I advise that you probably tune out, because it can really inflame your cringeums, which is the thing that makes you cringe inside. They're probably midichlorians. They're called cringeums. That is all fact. Everything I just said is fact. Okay, so they're planking.
Rock a little bit in those hips. Move around your toes and heels a little bit. That's fine. Shift your arms slightly. We're not looking for a lot of movement, but a little bit of movement will go a long way. Control breathing. You want to be careful about looking straight down because you get tempted to put your head in your hands so you can look a little bit around.
Okay, so they plank. Planking. Cool plank, bro. Like, literally, like.
Forearms are going to be on the ground. Legs are going to be up. When I do this, I can have narrow, I can have fairly wide. You can adjust this a little bit. You can lightly rock from side to side. You all suck. This is just for push-ups. What I'm looking for is coming all the way down to you break 90. In fact, if your chest lightly touches the ground, that's fine.
I mean, he's a $140. You should get 21. I'm only 140, so I don't feel like
So, oh, dude, I think, let me ask you a question. So you're asking a good question. Did you see any of this? Because this, to me, like, it was funny because I was actually asking Chad, I'm like, hey, guys, like, what do you think of the content that we're looking at right now? And everyone was pretty, excuse me, everyone was very quiet, which is fine. Because again, tuning out is totally normal. But this is their member guides. So for those of you guys, so one of the things that kind of blew me away is just things like, you know, no vulgar communications or actions, right? No conduct under the influence, no coded communications or dishonest actions, no abuse communications in platforms or violation of productive atmosphere. You know, like, this is all just like, there's another one. So, no discussion or reference to the use, ownership, or acquisition of firearms. Though all conduct discussed in these bounds is legal, any illegal conduct in this matter will result in immediate suspension for the purpose of protecting organizational stability. Discussion should nonetheless be prohibited in all forms, digital and physical. Members are not to describe, showcase, or explain their ownership of any such devices to any other members. At all times, the question should be avoided, and if asked, unanswered. Violation will result in revocation of privileges. Members are not to sell, distribute, modify. Members are not to present. So you get it, right? Like, these guys are legitimately trying to set up this, like, this veneer between, like, their legitimate activism and, like, oh, we put up posters and we're just saying, you know, crime statistics, and, like, we don't talk about it. Like, I think that's the most interesting insight that I've gotten out of delving into this data tonight. Is I was expecting it to be a deluge of like, and there was a little bit in the beginning in some of the chat logs, like Nazi memes and like stuff that's like, okay, there's like, you know, pictures of lynchings from back in the 20s, like stuff you just straight up cannot show or look at on stream. But there's been a surprising lack of that, and if anything, there's been an enormous amount of uniformity in the type of content that these guys seem to be producing, which makes sense, right? Like and again, like they literally, like, dude, check this out. They have like how to document, like, please do not take vertical videos, like, you know, how to frame things, videography, documentation. There is a infosec piece here, all on, like, you know, how to your real identity during actions, scrubbing clues, further efforts. Like, these guys are fucking organized. Like, I think that's one of the interesting insights I'm getting is they seem to be incredibly organized in terms of their documentation and sort of what they're, you know, how they're presenting themselves. So we're not going to see these guys, other than maybe like a little bit of public mischief for graffiti, covering up murals. Like, they are directly ordered not to engage in confrontational activity, not to start fights, not to use swear words, not to use slurs. They're not supposed to call people any particular racial slur or something like that in discourse. So I'm curious. That's why I'm interested in watching these ops videos, is because, like, does this tell a different story? Like, do these guys... I wish I was that skinny so I could do, like, pull-ups like that. I can only do, like, one, like, or two chin-ups before I break, but that's because, like, I got the big boyness in the belly. I got a big boy belly, which makes good for body resistance. Like, if you're doing any kind of, like, body resistance activity, it's kind of nice to have a big belly.
Keep going. Push it. He's got 12. I think he got 2 more.
Anyway. Okay, so these guys are just straight up doing, like, pull-ups and shit. Like, that's not even that particularly remarkable. Tallahassee Drilling, Texas. Oh, this is going to be this should be interesting. Let's take a look here.
Straight back. You bring it always back to your base here. Your base is right here. Never leave a hand, like, out too far, unless, like, you're doing something specific. Your arm's going to stay in this motion. So when I'm doing a left hook here, I'm going to rotate to my left first. So you're loading up. It's like you're loading up your shot. And then my arm's going to stay in this 90-degree angle, and I'm just going to twist around. It's just simple coverage. The amount of, like, the ways you can get through, but here you have a lot more coverage. You can cover a lot more. Another thing is that when you're in your guard, don't hold your hands out like this. Because if my hands are held out like this, like here, stick your hands out like in
the world is your gym.
You're just basically hitting yourself. And you want to let it either, like, you can let it connect or something, or you can, I don't know, dodge it maybe. But don't reach your hands out there to try to, like, you know, grab at it.
Why is he boxing? Sorry, like, Furious Masturbator said about you today on a stream. I don't think he probably said anything about me on my stream. But anyway, what I was going to say is you don't spar with glasses, right, guys? Like, I'm 99% sure that, like, you don't spar with glasses on. I could be wrong.
You don't want to break your posture. Like, lean into it just a bit. I know it's going to be awkward. Like, don't hunch over. I had this huge issue of covering up well, and then I dropped my hand. And my roommate would take the... There you go, again. There you go. Think about now, like, extending all the way. I think we might be a bit too close. Here you go. Don't load it up. You're loading up there just straight from it. Okay, you don't need to load up, please. Okay, go.
Try a hook. Sure, take your glove. You'll put your elbow.
There you go. Okay, slower.
So it goes like this. 3. So my hook is not going to hit him. I retract, take a step forward, bam!
Keep your hands stay in place, okay?
I mean, James has got the aggression. We've sparred before. He's maybe overextending a little bit, but that's kind of normal for especially taller guys who are trying to use their length. He needs to bring his hands back to his face when he throws a punch and not look at me when I'm talking.
Oh, no way. I'm not even sure I'm familiar with the Furious Maths debate. So, respect.
Strike, hand back, strike, hand back, strike, hand back, strike, hand back.
Dude, you have an ice cream truck? Tell me more.
Like that, all this guy had to do was just give him a nice little tap.
I love ice cream. You have a keenly interested customer if you're ever coming by my way.
My problem is, for sparring, I'm a headshot.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute. I especially love wallowing. Wallowing is great. Wallowing is one of my favorites, so I appreciate you really nailing the vibe. This is so silly, guys. All right, we're gonna move on. We're moving on to more content. Trap Money is bringing in high quality puns, as they say in the business. So, gotta respect the hell of that. This is like, when they say action report, like, they had some more produced content before, which I found was like a little bit more interesting. This is very... very bad.
Are we ready?
This is cute. Oh, we saw these guys before. We were watching these dudes. No, these guys are familiar. Some of this stuff is like, I don't know if there is there's a lot of crossover, I guess you could say, between these folders. Like, it's not exactly the same content, but you're seeing like the same groups. Banner. These are all banners. Yeah, the Michael Ohio speech was like absolutely one of my favorites. By the way, that guy had no swaz whatsoever. Okay, let's go through 8 a.m. This is where things get interesting, I think. So, workout and drilling. Oh, this is gonna be. Oh yeah, no, we watched some of this earlier for sure. So we're just gonna skip through that one. What we got here? Yeah, I guess what's like
So, there's teams in this section. So this right here is the rear guard section. We have 3 teams, 1, 2, 3. So each one of you is going to have a team leader. Actually, I'm sorry, not this section leader. The team leader is going to call the cycle back.
Wow. Yeah, I guess what I was going to say is like it's remarkable how similar like all of the drilling and shit that they do is. Like, it's all very, very from group to group. Like, here's our boys fighting in the rain again. I don't know who in chat saw this clip earlier.
1, 2. There you go. That was better. 1, 2. And there. Good.
4, 3.
Oh yeah, Walter.
1.
It's a good camera, I gotta say.
See? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that's it.
Hi.
Hi. Go.
No.
Order when you're ready.
What fucking losers. Yeah, I know, right? Like, Okay. Yeah, there's a real repetitive nature of the activities, which again starts to make sense because these guys are obviously like part of the reason why people join these groups is for a sense of structure and camaraderie. And in that guy's speech, he was giving that a horrific speech earlier. Like he even said, like, this is, what I would want in my military experience, without actually having to go through any of like the difficulties of being in the military, which is my favorite part about that. Oh, here we go. Another speech.
Victory in our shared strength. So, first of all, I'd like to thank Alan and all those from Michigan for hosting this event. They gave up their time to share this experience. It was very humbling. Again, we appreciate it greatly for the invite. So, why did our network involve ourselves so much in this hike? Well, there are many reasons for this. Number one, to make associates into brothers. Number two, to see the beauty of Michigan, right? And three,
There's your Michigan boys.
to escape the dread of our modern existence.
What?
But the main motivating factor is different. We at Network 12 have a vision as time has come.
It's bad too.
The idea started when I joined the organization. St. Louis is a place with heavy racial tension.
Yeah.
Well, I found myself.
So earlier we were watching these guys doing some like marching and stuff, and they had videos where they like obfuscated all their faces. Guess what? There's an entire folder here, like literally, that's just all of them obfuscated now. So that's fun. So even though they made like a nice polished video with like, hey guys, don't worry, no one's gonna see your faces, it's like, guess what guys, I can see all your fucking faces right now. So yeah, right. I don't know if you saw the video earlier too, dude, of where they oh wow, everything just crashed. Hopefully, am I still with you guys? Hopefully I'm still with you guys. My PC just did something kind of freaky deaky, which I always love midstream. There was like, there was this great. Yeah, I think I showed you guys this stuff earlier too, where they're just like literally, like hiking. Oh fuck, dude! I don't know if you were in the chat for this. Did you see this? They're like camping through some like Mount Nemo-esque camp. It's slightly Blair Witchy, but my favorite part is where they're trying to like light a fire with a candle here, and they're just having such a hard time like getting a fire lit. Like it takes them a while. It's embarrassing though. It's like, aren't you guys supposed to be like, hanging out with like survivalists and trying to, be the best people at everything? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, man, like it's I think, yeah, we watched the drilling instruction, there's drilling draft, there's this guy's speech we heard. Let's check this. Hold on real quick. Where is it? Guess that's not working. Weird. But yeah, it's other than it's less than I thought it was. I think that's like kind of my big takeaway from going through all of this data is I was expecting, like, other than obviously it being great at like outing a bunch of like obvious white nationalists and racists, you know, making their identities a lot easier to track and to tie back to their, you know, real identity. Yeah, there's not a lot here in terms of like illegal activity or anything that's like particularly crazy. I think the only thing that I found particularly interesting or particularly fascinating was the level of like organization they've had. Some of the documentation that they used to like keep their meeting minutes and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, I have been talking for 2 hours and 45 minutes. I need to take a quick little break. I am going to set myself to the waiting room really quickly here. I'm going to grab a little drinky drink and then back in 2 minutes. So stick around, guys. Well. What a fascinating little rabbit hole we fell into there. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely think I've maybe gotten my fill of white supremacy for the day. And if anything, it becomes apparent, like a level of repetition to the material, It's not documenting anything that's particularly illegal, particularly abhorrent. What it is showing is a very solid framework of organization, how to get engagement. Definitely activities that reinforce participation and reinforce the ideology. And they definitely seem to have a lot of good operational security to divest themselves from some of the criticisms of people saying, well, you're an extremist group that's, going to collect firearms and blah. It's like, well, it's all in our documentation. Like, we're not supposed to talk about guns. We don't promote guns. That's not part of the conversation that we have in our political discourse. And so what they do by, hiding that behind whatever veil that they have, because it's not obvious in any of the documentation that we've looked at, they seem to have done a good job of creating this like bizarre, semi-legitimate veil to what they're trying to do. In the name of being productive in the conversation, which is kind of bullshit. So yeah, I think that's a lot. It was a lot to look at. It was a lot to see just how many like young men are disillusioned and disenfranchised by like the insanity of the modern world, and leaning into some really like fucked up groups. So I'd like to. What was I don't know. I thought about ending the stream on something a little bit more light, but I don't even have anything that light to end the stream on tonight. What I will say is that I'm incredibly grateful for my friends who have stopped by, who have said hello, who have been participating in the chat. It means a lot to me because this is some of my fun that I look forward to in my week. As the hangover of the weekend wears off, I get excited about my Tek Talk and whatever episode I'm working on. And this is something that just kind of fell onto my lap, and maybe to DDoS secrets. We'll just pump DDoS secrets real quick, because I am going to delete this data set. I'm not going to keep it on my computer for much longer. It is taking up 400 gigs on my NAS, so I'd like to get rid of it if possible. But yeah, I think it's just a lot of fun having the opportunity to explore the things that I'm interested in, and to be able to talk to my pals, and to be able also to meet new people and hopefully inspire people to get excited about science and technology. Boy Scouts of America. Records disclose litigation to an alleged... Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Quite a bit here. Okay, so, if anyone's interested in, like, I think we already looked at the Gab leaks. I don't think they actually provided a torrent. You need to, like, apply to get that data. There's a lot of good stuff on DDoS secrets, so who knows? Maybe I'll get some suggestions from my pals in terms of what topics they'd like to see covered. If there's something on here that they think is interesting and worth taking a look at. I think in the meantime, I am going to do the smart thing before I ramble myself into idiocracy, is to call it a night. It's been a great stream. I appreciate all of you. It means a lot to me. You guys came around to hang out. For those of you who are new, thanks for coming and sticking around. It means a lot. And as I always like to say, guys, please keep looking at the stars. Catch you later. Peace.